Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to another market close, this time for February 21st. And this is going to be an interesting day on the market. Actually, a lot of the interesting stuff is going to happen after the market has already closed. But we're here. We're going to have some fun. We got some heat maps. We got a Nvidia stock to watch and see what's going on with. And we got you guys. We got all your questions, your comments, all that fun stuff. We're going to get to it all. We've also got, of course, the bell. So at 4 o'clock Eastern time, we will be handing off that bell. And this time, today, I'm going to be on time. I'm sure of it. I'm halfway sure of it, but we're going to try. So let's start off with, of course, oh my gosh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to share my screen. So let me pull up the screen. Here we go. And voila. And give me a second here. The camera's kind of in the way. So I'm just there we go. Want to make sure we're on the correct view. There we go. It is all good. This is Nvidia. What's going to happen here at 4 o'clock? Are we going to, in the after hours, are we going to see a spike up? Or, as a lot of people are predicting, are we going to see that spike down? In fact, if you guys have seen the market yesterday and the market today, we've had some pretty good red business going on. So great opportunities for buying. But what's behind all of this red? A lot of people thought maybe it might be the Fed minutes because those came out today, this afternoon at 2 o'clock. But a lot of people are also worried about Nvidia. Why are they worried about Nvidia? Here's one of the big reasons. Nvidia has been doing awesome. Everybody knows this. People have been watching profits absolutely explode with this stock. But here's the downside. Because of how hyped people have been with Nvidia, when it comes to the estimates that the financial analysts put on the company, basically the bar they have to reach with their earnings report, it is raised high. So they have a very, very high bar. And in the past, Nvidia has sometimes struggled to hit their bar because as people continue to basically say, this company's going to the moon, let's put a bar up there that's respectful, and they overshoot it. So in a way, it's not entirely Nvidia's fault. Now, what Nvidia has done is they've had their earnings reports, their price has fallen, which is good for investors because there's a nice opening tomorrow morning to get into Nvidia. But once it's fallen, they've recovered, they've come back, and they've gotten their new all-time highs. Right now, the big thing for Nvidia is breaking that 700 mark. That's kind of the whole thing. $700 a share. Holy banana bread. That's expensive. But that's what people are looking at. Right now, on the live chart, they're at $671.73 as they start to move up. So we're going to be watching them a little bit. And of course, after the show is over, a few people will probably be tuning into their earnings report. So that is at, what time is that? That's at 5 o'clock. So at 5 o'clock, that's when we have the Nvidia earnings report. All right, a couple people in the house. We'll just say hello really quickly. We got Mr. Jordan in the house. Good afternoon, everyone. Perlovia is in the house with an afternoon. And Kurt is just letting us know, buy the rumor, sell the news. Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of one of these things as we build up the stuff. So another good example is crypto. So as we build towards the halvening, you're going to see some nice price action on Bitcoin up to that point. And that's the time to sell. I'm not saying get out of Bitcoin forever, but if you're a trader, you probably want to sell at that point because once the halvening happens, all these people who've already sold out, it's going to create a lot of selling pressure, and you're going to see the price of Bitcoin actually fall at the halving. Now, mind you, it's a temporary fall. A couple of months after the halving, you're going to see some really interesting Bitcoin action. That's the way it's always happened in the past. You have the halvening, you get a little bit of a retracement, then basically it really starts ramping up a couple of months after the halvening. So I don't anticipate it being any different this time. So it'll be very, very interesting. And we'll be here. we'll be here in April and we will watch this. So that's going to be kind of cool. So if the halvening, whatever day the halvening occurs on, we'll make sure we get a live stream in for that, because I think that's going to be just a lot of fun to watch. All right, let's pull up these these heat maps, and I'll tell you, we're about to see some red. We're about to see a lot of red. Well, actually, here's a funny thing. Before we go over there, if you look right now, the S&P 500, it's only to the negative 0.02%. The TSX is only 0.19 or 0.2, sorry, 0.2 now. It changed as I was saying it. So we're not deep into the red, but let's take a look. Let's take a look at the heat map. All right, so this is for the no, this is not the TSX. This here is this is the US heat map. How did that happen? I don't know. We'll figure this out. As you can see, where we're close to coming even, we do have a bunch of green starting to creep in, but you'll see over here, we do have, like, here's Nvidia. Nvidia is down 3.37%. And as Kurt said, that is people selling the news. So there's a lot of news selling today. Meta's down, Microsoft is down, Google's up though, which is kind of awesome. Apple kind of, I would say, I call that flat more than anything else. Amazon is up. So we got Walmart's down. So we got a little bit of red. We got a little bit of green. So it's kind of a mixed action. All right. And let's go. Oh, here we are. Here's the Canadian one. The Canadian one. Look at this. We got a lot of this here color here, this gray color. So that is there we go. I just turned off the gray for a second. Basically, if a stock is really, really close to zero, it's, it's one of these situations where it'll be gray. It doesn't really give it a color if it's close. But look at this. Shopify is one of the big losers, down 4.05%. CNQ is coming back, which is good. They've been down a little bit late in the last month. So they're back up 2.90%. Most of the banks are down a little bit. So not as much green on the Canadian. And of course, everybody loves it when I say Alimentation Couche-Tard, they're down negative 0.32%. So that's, and let's take a gander. Well, let's take a gander right over here. Oh, here's crypto. Oh, a lot of red. Bitcoin is down 2.65%. Ethereum down 3.70%. Look at this. XRP is down. Solana is down negative 6.24%. So that's well, technically they're down 6.24%, not a negative, because that would actually be them in the green. BNB seems to be one of the few greens that I'm seeing at this moment. So definitely an interesting day on the market. And we're getting back here. And as you can see, Nvidia is having a late market rally a little bit. We got a little bit of action here. They're up to 674.83. So we're going to definitely keep our eyes on Nvidia as we progress. Now, I'm going to pull up one more thing here. We're going to pull up this is our watch list. So who do we have doing, well, we got, let's see, we got a 2.9% for DRX. HPS.A is up 1.74. So that's one of the Hammond. Now we have, though, where is the other Hammond? Right here. We've retraced back a little bit on this one. Hammond at one point was pushing for 14. They have retraced a little bit, which is great. If you're looking to get in, it makes a good opportunity for them. All right, let's pull back Big Me for a moment. Chad says Nvidia is over twice the PE of Tesla. I don't know what is holding it up. So yes, a lot of people look at Nvidia and say that they are way overvalued, and that's kind of part of this whole thing. So part of what's happening today is people saying, okay, Nvidia, they can't break 700. Sorry, I was just distracted for a second. Yeah, so people are saying that Nvidia is having difficulty breaking some key supports. They're overvalued. So what's going on with them? Why haven't they been able to get any further up? Is it because they're overvalued? Is it because maybe AI has finally hit the end of its runway? I don't believe that. I believe AI has a lot more still left in the tank. And it's at a point, well, right now, ChatGPT, so OpenAI, they're looking at bringing memory out for ChatGPT. So what memory will do is it's going to make it so that when you're using ChatGPT, it can remember all of the stuff that you've talked about in the past. And that will be very, very interesting. Now, I will show you guys. Yeah, I'm going to show you something here. This is really, really, really funny. So give me a second. I'm going to get this over here. I just have to, let's see here. I have to find it. I wasn't planning on showing it, and then I'm like, oh, this would be kind of neat. Oh, where is it? Good old Chat GPT. All right. I think, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right. So I was making this bonus video yesterday. So we're talking about, and let me share this, bring it all up. So what we're talking about is where we're talking about the 3,000 sub video. I released that today. So that's my news parody thing. So for the picture I was planning with Trudeau in it, any of you who've seen it know what I was looking for. I was looking for a play on Lucky Charms called Lucky Votes. So I asked GPT to create me this picture for me, and this is what it came up with: is Lucky Volts. So I wasn't happy. I asked again, and I got Lucky Varns. And at that point there, I was kind of like, what can I do to get ChatGPT to pay more attention to the instructions? So I decided to bribe ChatGPT. And the fact that bribing ChatGPT actually works is kind of scary if you think about it. If you think, as I mean, if you think of it as just a large language model and it's got, and it just, like a computer, just simply does whatever you ask, bribing it should make no difference at all. But I had heard through a couple of videos I had watched that if you bribe it, it will work. So I decided I couldn't get what I was looking for. So I said, I'm going to bribe it. So right here, I said, if you spell Lucky Votes correct this time, I will give you a free ride on a pink platypus. I know, very, very silly, but voila, look what I got. Lucky Votes, exactly what I was looking for. So there might be something to it. Now, what I had heard people say is if you sometimes bribe to tip it $200, that tends to be one that a lot of people will use. And I don't know why, but ChatGPT will behave better when you offer it a tip. So who knows what that's all about? Oh, paying attention to the time. I'm going to bring Big Me back here. Let's do that here. There we go. Just because need to pay attention to that bell. All right. Paralovia says energy stocks did well today, and talking about looking at its chart, this may be a good time to get in again. Seems to go to $4 on any news and then get sold off. Interesting. That is definitely interesting. Yeah, it is. There are different stocks that do things like that. Well, let's pull up Let's just do that here. Well health. I'm gonna bring it back up. This is where I always get distracted and get late on the bell, but we're gonna try not to. There we go. All right, so here's well health. So right now it's sitting at 3.725. So I can sort of see these bumps that you're talking about here. So, it looks like there's still a little ways to go. It's got a long ways to go, actually, if you're thinking about going to 4. Now, let me just pull this up to 3 months. So yeah, here's one of the last ones. And here are the other ones here. So this bump, this bump, this bump. And you're thinking it's going to go back up there. So that might be an idea. Buy down here. So buy in the 360 range, play a swing trade up until you get to 4. That's not a bad idea. I mean, we've seen a little bit of predictability. It's done it 3 times. It may just do it again. It may do it again. All right. And we are like, literally, we're like seconds away from the bell. I've got the bell right here. getting ready. I'm getting ready to do our thing. Then we'll take our final look at the market, and we'll see. Here we go. It is closed. The market is closed. We got an hour till the Nvidia earnings call, so we'll have to see how that's going to go. All right, let's take a final look at the market here. So heat map wise, we got a little bit more green in the energy sector. Look at this. The whole energy sector is looking green now. So we got a little bit creeping in. The US actually looks like it might have gone a little more to the red as we were doing it. Crypto looks pretty much the same. All right, let's go back here and take a look at our final numbers. So, oops, I'm in the market close. Let's get to our main list here. So look at this. The S&P 500, they finished in the green. They finished up 0.13%. The TSX did finish in the red, not down by very much, negative 0.21%. So a slight red-green on the market for Canada, a slight green day on the market for the United States. And Nvidia, they finished the day at 675 and 6 cents. So we will have to see what happens to Nvidia tomorrow. If they somehow, so if Nvidia, I'll give you the two scenarios. If Nvidia somehow manages to meet or exceed expectations, expect a huge momentum. They'll definitely get, if they do it, they'll get up to close to 700. Will they break that resistance though? That's the big question, and that'll be interesting to see. They've got a little bit of runway to at least go up a bit. So when we're talking 700, let me see here. Oh, that's HMM. Let's go over to Nvidia. This really helps, and you can even see the end of day. Look at this. These are the people. So these people buying in at the end of day, because this is a 1 hour. This is a 1 hour candle. So this group of people right here, these are the people who are thinking Nvidia is going to meet or exceed expectations tonight. If they do, so here is, and I'm going to give you a line here, folks. Let's just do it. All right. So here's our 700. So we could potentially get a jump up to maybe here. Now, if they absolutely own expectations and they pass through this, that would be very, very, have to see how high they get. Now they have, not that long ago, they were up around 741. So this is kind of the big thing right now is get them back above 700. We'll see what happens. What would be really amazing is, and I've seen this happen with Nvidia before. I've seen them do some incredible jumps. So imagine if they did make it back up to an all-time high, like even 750 way up there. That would be crazy. I would not anticipate that. I think they still have that 700. I think that's going to cause a little bit of an issue, but we'll have to see how that happens. Now, worst case scenario, if they don't meet expectations, we've got a plummet coming at that point. But how big of a plummet? That's going to be a good question. I don't think it would be any more. Well, let's put in another thing right here. We'll go at about 650. So this would be, I think when we wake up in the morning, we're going to be between these two ranges. I am kind of here. And here's a funny thing. I'm optimistic about Nvidia. I know they're overpriced, but the demand is there. The demand for their product is there. I think I'm in that green. I think I'm in those group of people who think it's going up. So I'm going to call it. I could be absolutely wrong on this one, and I'm totally okay with that. But I'm going to call it as going up. I'm going to call an up. I know everybody and their dog is calling it down, but I'll call an up. We'll see how that turns out. All right, let's pull that back and bring me back up. Jackie says, smash that like. Absolutely. Hit the like button, folks. It lets people know that I'm live. It helps with the good old YouTube algorithm. And while you guys are hitting the like, I'm going to hit some Starbucks. Well, it's actually not Starbucks, but it's in a Starbucks mug. So Starbucks, if you were to call me and sponsor me, I'll drink Starbucks coffee in your Starbucks cup. So just saying. That is very good. Very good mugs. I love your mugs. And Prairie is in the house with a good afternoon, everyone. And we got Muggsy in here. We got Mario in here. Another good afternoon. All right. And Chad has some more insight on Nvidia. Chad saying Nvidia's stock market cap has hit 1.7 trillion, the same as all Chinese companies listed on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. Yes, Nvidia. I think the only companies bigger than Nvidia right now, market cap wise, are Microsoft and Apple. So they're doing the thing. So we'll have to see. Once again, I'm gonna be the optimist, and I'm gonna say that they're gonna do okay. But a lot of people are expecting it to go down. And here's a funny thing: if you're if you're like a lot of these people who expect it to go down and you start shorting it, you could be in for some trouble in the morning. So one of those things just to keep in mind. All right. I wanted to quickly talk a tiny bit about that news video. So I don't know if you guys have seen it yet or not, but I did the parody 3000 news video as I had promised. It was actually, it's funny, as I was doing it, I was like, oh my God, this is going to be so bad. But as I was putting the pictures in and putting in all of the B-roll, I was like, you know what? This is actually turning out better than I thought it was going to. And it's kind of neat too. Like I didn't make up news. I used real news. So all of the news part is, it's all real news with a bunch of jokes all put throughout it. But yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun. So I'm hoping you guys enjoy it. You gotta, when you watch it, just throw something in the comments. Let me know what you thought. Maybe we'll do another one of these somewhere down the line if you guys like it. But that's the thing. If you guys don't like it and nobody watches it, well, then I probably will never go there again. For the 4,000, when we get to 4,000 subs, I am doing that big live stream. So an open to close, it will be epic. But we'll have to get there first, which is going to be kind of fun. So I'm looking forward to that. Another exciting thing this week is our deep dives. This is our first ETF deep dive. So I've had to kind of redesign it a little bit because we don't have all of the same components of a deep dive that we have when we're doing stocks. So for example, all of the revenue stuff, we don't have that. They don't have revenue. You don't have a profit margin. You don't have debt. So a lot of the statistics we don't have. So we have some of the familiar statistics in our deep dive that's coming out. While I'm filming it in the morning, channel members will see it tomorrow afternoon. But yeah, everybody else will get to see it by Friday. So we're going to do a couple of other things, like more or less we're going to look into what they're holding, what's in their portfolio, a few things like that. So we're going to shake things up a little bit. Now, because this is the first of those deep dives that we're doing with, there we go. Because this is the first of these ETF deep dives, they're going to change. They'll change over time. So you guys, that's where comments come in. Like a lot of times people will say, I want this statistic. And that's cool. I usually will add most of the statistics that people ask for, unless they're like, I don't want to say stupid, but non-usable statistics or something I just can't easily create. I'm trying to think of an example. Oh, I think one of them is somebody had asked for, actually, this is a really good one. Somebody had asked for 5-year dividend change. I love it. I can do that on most videos, but if I'm doing a video on something that doesn't have a dividend, obviously I can't use that stock. Or also sometimes it doesn't make sense to do it with something that has super low dividends. So when you're looking at, like, for example, growth stocks, that's just one example. But for most cases, that one does work. It's just one of these situations. It depends on what you guys ask for. I'll try to do it. I did add for the ETFs, their average volume, I think over the last 30 days, what their average volume is, just to give you a general idea of how much is going on with them. Good Vibes is in the house with a quick old hi. Hello there. All right. So yeah, as we continue here, guys, drop your questions, drop your comments, anything you want into the chat. We'll keep on plugging away here with that. I wanted to talk a tiny bit about Blossom. I forgot to mention them at the top of the show. So for those of you who do not know what Blossom is yet, and you might have to be brand new to the show. Oh, and before I get into Blossoms, today's title, where did I steal that from? That's what I want to know. We'll see who the first person is to know how, where I stole that from. Blossom. It is the social media app for for Canadians, for investors, not so much Canadians anymore because there are US members. So we've moved into the US, and I think there's also I don't know if there's an actual push into Europe, but I know there's somebody from Europe who did become an ambassador. So it's been growing huge. So it's fantastic. You have the option to, you don't have to, but with Blossom, you have the option of attaching your portfolio. So that way there you can actually show people, say, it doesn't tell how much money you have. It just does it all in percentages. But that way there you can show off your portfolio, or sometimes you might say, hey, here's my portfolio. What do you guys think? Always take that with a grain of salt because, when you're dealing with a whole bunch of people on social media, people will have a lot of varying opinions, but it is pretty good. You can also go in and see portfolios of your favorite Canadian content creators, which is fantastic. You can go in and see what I've got hooked up to it actually is the 0 to 100K portfolio. So I have that one hooked up. So anytime you want to check in on that, you can certainly do that. And also there's just, if you join, there's a link below. Let me know when you get over there. Follow me. I'll follow you back. I'll comment on your stuff. Maybe not everything, but I do go through and I do my best to try to comment on stuff. Now, for more personalized this community, we got two other options for you. We got our Discord. So our Discord, and the link is now working on all of the new videos. Apparently the first link I started using expired in 7 days. So we've got a new permanent link that is actually attached down below. Discord, it is fun. It is a place we can go. We can create new rooms. We can interact more than you probably want to. And we also, of course, have Facebook. For those of you who are more comfortable with Facebook, we have a Facebook group that we can do as well. So those are your options for communications. All right. Paralovia is in here with, let's see, Fairfax added another 500,000 of BB.T shares, if that interests anyone here. There we go. So those of you who are into Fairfax, they have added 500,000 of BB.T. Okay, yeah, there's one other thing I did want to mention as well. With the ETFs, so for example, the deep dives, I need to know what ones you guys want to do. So far, I don't have a ton that have been submitted. So, if you're watching this on the replay, feel free to throw in the comments a few ETFs that you'd like to see done deep dives on so that I can get that pool built up. Also the stock pool as well. So the stock companies you want to see deep dives on, when I moved everything over to Discord, I emptied the pools. So I need to get those all filled up with prospective companies that you guys want to see. So that way there, and for anybody new to the channel, that's how we do it. All deep dives are voted on by everybody in here. The other thing, I got to mention this as well. So community members, you guys have that opportunity to choose the final video of every month. So I call it the community members choice video. So it can be anything you want as long as it's financially related in some way, sense, or form. So there is I put out just a message. So over on the community tab for the community members, all you got to do is let me know what you want to see there. It can be anything. I always say, don't just ask for a simple deep dive because I do those anyway. This is the time to ask for something a little bit out there. I think so far I've had somebody submit something about international stocks. Once I have a few more of those in, I'll get a poll up and then we'll get you guys voting on it. So that way I'll make that video. Now everybody gets to see the video. So if you're not a channel member, don't worry, you still get to see it. You just don't get to vote on it. That's the only difference. So yeah, let's hear your guys' best ideas. I'd like to get that poll up by the end of the weekend for sure, and then we'll go from there. So that's going to be kind of fun. Whew. I'm just trying to think what else I have on my mind when it comes to finance. I think the big thing on my mind right now is Nvidia. I'm just curious to know what is going to go on with that meeting tonight. We still got 45 minutes until that happens, so we'll have to go. Well, let me ask you guys a question right now. Everybody here, throw your answers in chat. Are you like me? Do you think Nvidia is going up? So are they going to meet expectations, or is Nvidia going down tonight? Or are they going to go red, as in not meet expectations? Throw it in the comments. I'd be curious to know what you guys all think. I probably should have threw a poll up at the beginning of the stream, but you know what? I bet you I can do a poll right now. Let me see here. I actually have to. Give me a second. I have to go over to the actual market thing here. All right, let me see here. Can I add? I can start a poll. All right, I'm going to put this in right now. Is Nvidia going to meet expectations? You probably hear a whole bunch of typing going on. I am going to correct that because it is, oops, a couple of spelling errors. There we go. And there we go. All right. I have just dropped a poll. So there we go. So the poll should be active that you guys can click on it. We'll see what everybody thinks. I'm kind of curious right now. So, well, I'm seeing some votes come in. Now, Chad is mentioning that he thinks it's going to be red. So I know how Chad is going to vote. Ooh, it's right now, it's pretty tight. You guys are like split right down the middle. I'm seeing 50% yes, 50% no so far. We'll leave that going just for a couple more moments as we see what everybody thinks. But that's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Let me ask this question. Have any of you either bought into Nvidia? And it doesn't have to be Nvidia directly. Like maybe you bought the CDR, or maybe you bought one of the ETFs. So whether it be Yield Max or Purpose High Yield, has anybody bought or sold their Nvidia in preparation for what's going to happen with this earnings call? I have a feeling that most of you probably have not. Maybe you already hold them and you're holding them long term, and it's like, okay, I'm holding it long term. I don't care what happens, this week. But I do know a few of you that might actually play this. There's a few traders, I think, in the community. All right, let's take a gander at this poll and see what happened here. Oh my gosh, I still can't believe it. We're at 50-50. If one person here has not voted on the poll, please vote on the poll so we don't have a tie. I want a winner. I want the community to have a voice one way or the other, not a fence. Right now, it is sitting on the fence. So if there's one person here who has not voted, please vote on that poll right now, because right now, as soon as one person votes, I will end the poll. Just so we don't have a tie. Come on, somebody, please. Don't leave us all hanging here on the fence. Well, maybe that'll end up being how it is. I mean, if the community is not decided, the community is not decided. We don't have a choice. But yeah, I'm still looking at it, 50-50. Okay. All right. I'm going to end the poll. I'm going to end it. There we go. The poll is ended. And so, yeah. So there we go. Look at that. We got 12 votes. Wow. Well, keep in mind, I mean, some of you guys might be driving and it's like, I'm not going to have an accident so I can vote. And that's totally cool. But yeah, so it seems like everybody is a little bit split on this. I know I'm on the green side and Chad is on the red side. So we'll have to see. Is Chad going to be smiling tomorrow or is he going to be sad? We'll find out. um, and Kendall says, voted no, but hoping yes. Okay. Yeah, and that makes sense. It makes sense. There's nothing wrong with hoping against what you're going to vote for. And we're going to find out. We'll have to see. Wayne says, bought 365 call options. Okay. Bought a straddle ratio 670 puts to hedge. Okay. Well, we're going to have to see. You'll have to let us know, Wayne, how that works out. It's all coming down. So we're gonna have to take a look. I think it's gonna be fun. I think the results will be fun. Yeah, I'm kind of cool. Paralovia says, I got bored this morning hearing about Nvidia and I bought Air Canada shares. Guess that shows I have no Nvidia. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, Air Canada is under 20. And I've always thought, and I've always said as well, when Air Canada's under 20, that's the time to be DCAing in. Because they will recover. They certainly will recover. So nobody figured out the title. So I wrote the title in the style of a 70s cop show called CHiPs. So the little I and the little S. I just put that in there because I thought that would be funny. Because I was thinking, what am I going to call this episode? I'll call it CHiPs. And then I was like, let's see if anybody remembers the 70s. Old 70s reruns, however you were exposed to it, or maybe you've never even heard of CHiPs. I don't know. So that's just the way it rumbles. Hello, Starbucks. I'm getting some more coffee. Nice. Whew. And it is a cold day here today, folks. I will say this right out the bat. It's actually not so bad now, but it was cold this morning. We got some warmer weather coming, which is always nice. Which hopefully, I'm hoping for a nice warm March, like when I have to go to the court to do that whole, well, you know what I have to do. I am up for jury selection. So, basically when I go in, I have to decide if I want to be selected, then I probably need to just answer truthfully. If I don't want to be selected, I can always start just spewing some horrible stuff or something. I don't know. I'm actually okay with that. I'm gonna wait and see. A huge bounce. What do you get? What do we get? A huge bounce? Are we still talking Nvidia? And Jonathan, this is great. Oh my God, I opened the stream and the ad was another stream and I was so confused. Wow. That would be funny. It's like, wait a minute, did somebody hijack Candace's channel? But it could happen, I suppose. Well, there used to be, and you don't see it as much anymore, but the old crypto hackers, they used to hack channels and then they would put up these fake Elon Musk streams, and then there would be offers off on the side where, hey, send us a Bitcoin, we'll send you two. And that's how they would scam you. I can't believe, I find it hard to believe that somebody would think that that's a legitimate thing, that, hey, let me get one. Here's one you give me a Bitcoin, I'll give you two. Nobody ever is going to do that. Now, today, they've actually gotten really, really crafty. Now they're starting to use AI to impersonate people. I believe a recent scam was actually Mr. Beast. Somebody created an AI version of Mr. Beast who was saying that who said that he was going to send, I think, a new iPhones to as many people as possible. And it was all a giant scam to try to get money out of people. So, if Mr. Beast is going to give you something, I doubt he's going to want your banking information, or I doubt he's going to want you to send him money or some crypto or anything like that. But people do fall for these scams, and I always find that kind of amazing that happens. But thankfully, it doesn't happen too bad. All right, Wayne's got an update here. Let's see. And Nvidia is trading at $6.45, lower by $20 so far. So in off-hours trading, we get a little bit more people piling out. Well, not piling out, but it's probably, to move at $20, definitely there's also a certain amount of selling pressure. We have to see how this is all going to go. I do not know if TradingView, let me get that back here. Give me a second. All right. Yeah, I'm just taking a quick glance here. TradingView does not give me off-hour trading, unfortunately. There's probably an add-on that will. So, what is going on here? I am actually looking at this thing here. I'll show you. I'll show you what I'm looking at because this is kind of neat. I don't know if this is off hours. Wayne can tell me if this is off hours. There's this little thing here moving on the side here. So this one here where it says post. So right now it's showing 681, 680. Has Nvidia recovered back up to like 680? That will tell me if that's what I'm seeing. If this little blue thing moving is off-hour trading. Because I've never really looked at that before, but it's there. So if it is off-hour trading, then Nvidia looks to be doing a little bit better. So 680, wow. Paralovia says it topped revenue estimates. Did they do their? I thought they were doing it at 5 for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah, right now I'm seeing 679, 678. So it's moving a lot. There seems to be a lot of volatility there right now. So yeah, that's exactly what we're seeing, folks. This little blue line right here, this little post, this is the price of Nvidia in after hours. So it's moving around a little bit, but right now it's hanging out. It's hanging out on the plus side. That's interesting. Well, heck, is it going to go up to our little target up here? We'll have to see. We'll have to see. 683. That is cool. Like I said, I've never looked. I have never looked. And here was Wayne just sort of, Wayne confirming that we were, that's what we were looking at. So yeah, I have not ever looked, but we'll have to see. Over here on the side, we do have some of our news. I think the news right now is talking about equity markets lower as traders evaluate. See, I read the Fed. I saw the a $48 swing. Nice. Very, very, very cool. I mean, I looked at the Fed minutes when it came out today, and I didn't find it really bullish, and hawkish or dovish. It was really there was nothing outside. I didn't find there was anything really that different from when we actually had when we had the last meeting. So, it's one of these situations that I didn't think the Fed minutes really played a huge impact. So just to put that there. So look at this over here. We're up to 682 as it keeps moving. This is it. We're watching live, folks. We're watching the video live. Can they pound up there and hit? I don't know. I still find it interesting. I really thought that just give me a second here. I'm going to try. I'll open up. All right, that was the Fed minutes one. So yeah, that's the last news article I currently have on them is 41 minutes ago. So right now they're up to 688. So look at this. So if those minutes actually came out and did did amazing, that would be very, very cool because that would be half of us. That means half of us are right. Well, no matter what, half of us are going to be right because it was 50-50. But oh, look at that. Oh, 691, 692, 694. Oh, we're heading for it. We are definitely heading for it. And Wayne is just mentioning as we're watching the video that, yeah, the Canadian banks all had a rough day. So there were definitely some falls in the bank. Look at that. We got up to 697. Let's pound through. Come on, pound through the 700, Nvidia. Do it. Now, I'll tell you, all of these people who bought in that last hour, look at that. They're all in profit at this moment. Now, keep in mind, this is after hours. A lot can happen because right now they're probably reading. And right now, look at this, 690, 701. We broke through. Oh, we're just climbing now. We're climbing. Look at this, 704. It's like a race. It's like strap on my backpack. I'm going to the moon. And we're at 706. Holy cow. This is just fantastic. This is kind of cool. I've never like live streamed a market, an after hours market thing. But that's cool. 709. Look at this. 710. Yeah. 711. That's kind of cool. Isn't that a store? But still, we're getting there. So yeah, obviously, obviously they must have beat expectations. This is really good news. Now this here is and Paralovia. Look at this. Could be an exciting day on. Yeah, this here is green. This is a green day tomorrow, guaranteed, unless of course a black swan events. It's funny. I always keep calling a black swan event a black sheep event, but look at this 718. Wow. Oh, we're doing it. We're doing it. Look at this 719. Oh my gosh. This is crazy. Absolutely. And Chad's saying crazy. Yeah. This is kind of crazy. Absolutely. And 720. Holy cow. We've crushed through here. If it keeps going, we're going to have to scroll down even further, but Nvidia has done it. Nvidia, it basically goes to show. I mean, I've been seeing all of these things on YouTube and different news things saying, "Oh, we're probably at the end of this tech bubble and this AI bubble, and AI is going to crash, and it's all going down. It's all going to start with the Nvidia earnings. Watch as they plummet." I've been listening to that all week, but look at this. We're not plummeting. We are doing the opposite. Maybe Nvidia is overvalued, but you know what? Right now, nobody cares. Nobody is caring because we're looking at 717. So that's not bad. We'll have to see. Right now, it seems to be petering out a little bit around there. So that there is fantastic. But holy cow, it is doing well. I love this. I love this. This is kind of fun. I only wish it actually had lines here because, looking on the screen, like if you're watching this on like a phone, it's probably hard to see this little blue thing that's moving up on the side here. But yeah, and that's what Wayne said. It topped out around 724. And that's not bad. That's not bad. I was saying that once this was a bit of resistance at 700. Once they broke through that, I'd be happy. Now, I am, of course, officially wrong because I did say it's probably going to be between that zone tomorrow. But now we know it's going to be in the upper half. And I think it'll stay above 700 going into the open tomorrow. But we should have a nice, good day. Tech overall will probably rebound. So that will be fun to watch. Yeah, it's going to be a good day. So those of you who are waiting for an even redder day tomorrow, unfortunately, you're not going to get that opportunity to get those sales in. So hopefully you guys did buy a little bit over the last couple of days when it comes to your sales. Now, I want to see it break above 724, but Wayne is right. That's probably where it's going to peter out at, but you never know because right now, unfortunately, I don't know what's going on with their earnings. But they're still going. Oh, look at this. We're at 724 again. Ooh, 725. There we go. We made it. We peaked up to 725. So there we go. Nice little fun thing. So that's what happens in the after hours. It's kind of a fun thing, especially and it's really interesting is there are institutional investors who have access to trading after hours. Now, if you have Wealthsimple, I know Wealthsimple has after hours trading. You could be in here taking advantage of this. I think Wayne probably was because he did mention something about making a 40 some odd dollar swing. So that's not too shabby. But yeah, it's just one of these nice little things. So tomorrow morning, here's the beautiful thing. When you go to open up your browser to look at them, they're going to explode from like 675 to 720 or so, or whatever they end up opening at. So it's going to be really, really fun. It's going to be pretty darn cool. All right. So if you guys have some final questions, we could watch this all day, but I imagine it's getting boring us watching a little blue thing moving up and down the side there. But if you got some final questions, throw them in. We'll hit them up before we go. that's the way we roll here. While I'm waiting on those questions, just a couple things on what's going on this week. Um, we had the bonus video today, so if you haven't watched it, definitely catch that after the stream. We also have a first deep dive on ETFs, so it's XEQT that will be available tomorrow for channel members, Friday for everybody else. We'll be in with this week, the real this week. That'll be our live stream on Sunday. We'll be back here for that. And I'm not sure what's going on Monday or on Tuesday. It's probably another list video, I think. There's also one of those, those shorts I've been doing for Blossom, the ones with the green backgrounds. One of those will be dropping tomorrow as well. I believe it's all about RRSPs. So if you want to check that out, that will be available. All right, everybody. I guess I don't have any further questions. It's like saying it from Newfoundland, kind of. Or I think Cape Bretoners. If you've ever met a Cape Bretoner, they will use further. And instead of 3, they will say tree. A few things like that, but that's kind of a fun thing. Paralovia says, amazing Nvidia even affects our Canadian dollar value. Well, Nvidia is a huge company. It absolutely is. And plus, I can't remember exactly with who. I know there's some deals that Nvidia recently made with some Canadian companies as well. So that goes without saying. So anyway, guys, until next time, we're gonna end this here at about 50 minutes, so that's not too bad. So I will say take care. Oh, let me hold on. I can't do this while my head is small. There we go. Anyway, we're gonna head out. We will see you guys all really, really soon. Make sure to throw me your ETFs and your stocks that you want me to add to the pool, so we can get that all repopulated up and going. Anyway, until then, guys, take care. We will see you again very, very soon. Bye, everybody.